Some things in life don't make a big difference if you head for the cost-saving option. But when it comes to retaining a lawyer, cheaper isn't always better.
Here to help you understand that and the repercussions attached is our regular counsel's corner attorney, Ofelia Markarian from Ofelia Markarian Law.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
Good. How are you guys?
We're good.
Great.
Looking nice and bright this morning.
Thank
Very
you.
colourful.
Thank you.
I love pink.
Thanks. So do I.
A little loving.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sweet. Let's move on. Let's move on to this lawyer situation. So, hiring a lawyer. I mean, you know, a lot of people go through this, and a lot of different things. Like Jessica mentioned, you go for something cheap, but this is not always a safe option, right?
Correct. Yes. You know, your legal case is very, very important, and it could have a big, significant effect in your future. So, saving money on your legal counsel is probably the worst thing you could do, because it could affect you in your future as well as cost you more money.
Yeah, you know, are there, when someone's looking for who the right attorney might be for them, are there any red flags that people should be looking out for when they're looking at these attorney fees that come up as well?
So if an attorney does not provide you a fee agreement, if an attorney goes back and forth on their fees, if an attorney cannot clearly explain their fees, those are red flags. Something to also be cautious about: if an attorney pushes you to sign a fee agreement or they guarantee a specific outcome, those are big, big red flags.
So how do attorneys, someone like yourself, typically charge for family or criminal defense cases? Is there a set way that people should be mindful of and you know, be aware of?
So for family cases, it is typically an hourly rate with a retainer up front. This means you pay a lump sum that the attorney will draw from as they work. For criminal cases, most common is a flat fee. And remember, the cheapest, just because you pay something up front, less cost, doesn't mean it's going to cost you less later on.
Right. Now, what would be the standard contingency fee for personal injury cases here in Nevada?
So in Nevada, the standard contingency fee percentage for personal injury is 33 1/3 if the case is settled and is not filed in court, and 40% if the case goes to court and is filed.
Mm-hmm. We're talking a lot about money, obviously, and that's a lot of people's consideration, especially, you know, with how things are right this second in time. But what should people really be focusing on when it comes to hiring an attorney? I mean, what are some key things that should be just as mindful as how much it's going to cost someone?
Remember, cheap isn't the best, okay? So you need to look at what the attorney is offering, what the services are, and compare it to the cost. You want to look for an attorney that clearly communicates and is transparent with you.
Yeah. Now, what if somebody, let's say, did go for a less expensive option and kind of finds themselves maybe without the right representation? Do they have any options at that point?
You know, their options are to hire another counsel, another attorney. You know, a cheap attorney is an attorney who is overloaded, who is inexperienced, and quite frankly is not invested in your case. If an attorney were to be paid properly, they can invest in the time and investigate and come up with a proper strategy and a defense for you.
Is there any other things that potential clients should do as their own due diligence? You know, should you check in with the Bar Association? Should you check in with, you know, whether this lawyer is in the office, whether they're actually handling your case? You know, are those kind of things important?
You know, I would check reviews. You know, track records speak for themselves. You know, listen to how the attorney speaks to you in that initial meeting, that first meeting. Is the attorney listening to you? Are they communicating with you? You know, are they answering all of your questions? Do you feel comfortable with that attorney? You want to make sure that you hire an attorney that is capable of representing you, handling your case, and an attorney that you can trust.
Yes.
Right.
Ofelia, thank you so much for joining us. Great advice today.
Thank you.
If you have questions about a potential case, need assistance yourself, or are looking for more information about Ofelia, just head to OpheliaMarkarianLaw.com.